Okay. Uh-oh. Can y'all please cut that off? Hello, hello, hello. Everyone is that's okay. What's going on, everybody? It's Kim Millie Prosperity out of Savannah, Georgia. And gosh, it's been so long since I've been live with you all. I don't even know if I know how to do this correctly. Let me check something out right quick. Let me check something out real quick. As you guys come in, please do me a favor and it's still the same old thing. I want you to say where you are watching from. Drop your okay, my audio is working. Drop your district, say your circuit. Okay, drop your district, say your circuit. And let me get the link for those who do not know what I am talking about. Over here, we really take this information seriously. We take our rights seriously. And that means we don't just do things on the surface level. So I used to ask people, tell me where you're watching from, but that's too easy, right? So I want you to drop your district or say your circuit, meaning I just dropped the link in the chat. I want you to figure out what circuit court, what we're talking about, court systems you are in. And this is especially important because hey, Kiana, what's going on, sis? Long time no see. I hope all is well with you and yours. But this is especially important, guys, because I want you to understand that you need to know that your area determines a lot. What one court will do, another one won't, and vice versa. So you need to study case law in your area specifically. That's why a lot of people are out here looking like fools, because oftentimes they'll reference something from another jurisdiction, and in court they're looking at you like, so what? That's them over there. So drop your district, say your circuit. And if you do not know what that is, like I said, I just dropped the link in the chat. For the replay viewers, it will be in the description box. Also at this time, we got a little bit of housekeeping, y'all. Also at the time, go ahead and like the video. I'm sure you're gonna like it if you came here, right? The algorithm usually shows you something you've interacted with. So you've seen me, I'm sure, before, and apparently you like my content. And so now you're here. Please go ahead and like the video. This is a video you are going to want to share out. I need you to go ahead and get your pen and paper. Look at my girl Kiana, always participating. Okay, this is the type of person who is going to get results. It's inevitable. Kiana is in Florida, the 11th district. That's like me. I'm in Georgia, District 11. Okay, so I love how she did that. She said the state and the district. Guys, that's very, very helpful. And that's something that you need to know. Today, we are real. Oh, you know what? Let me tell y'all this. So I've been gone from YouTube for a month. And in the last 28 days, I'm just really honored and blown away by how many people have watched videos, subscribed to the channel, left comments. And it's so heartwarming and touching. I really, really, really appreciate you all. It is nice to know that even when I'm going through stuff, work that I've done previously is still making an impact and having a difference, helping people. So thank you to everyone who is new to the channel. In the last 28 days, it's been 190 people. So considering the fact that I've not shot any videos, that's a huge accomplishment. I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing these videos, y'all. Keep sharing these videos, telling others, and interacting with them. I was very, very sick. And that was a part of the reason why I was away. But I also have family members that are sick. So for those who have kept me in your thoughts and prayers, woo, 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 I appreciate you. All right. So I don't want to linger too long on that, but I must acknowledge the channel growth despite my absence. And I feel I owe it to y'all to kind of sort of give you an idea. Your girl just wasn't chilling in Bali, okay? Not yet. So listen, what we're going to talk about today is are you ready for court? And now this is a very serious topic, because what I need y'all to know is that I know for me, this consumer protection stuff, it kind of took off around 2020, okay? And that was what, 3 years ago? Okay, cool. But some people have been at it for decades. Sometimes the information will die down and then pick back up, and then it'll die down again and pick back up. Like I said, for me, it was 2020. For many of you, it was 2020 or maybe even this year. And I need you to know this. Times are a-changing and things are constantly evolving. And you could see a video from 3 years back where somebody's like, I just sent in this letter and boom, look at my result. And that was working back then. But will it work now? Probably not. Because when they see that we learn about this information, y'all, they change stuff up. They do not want us. They want us to stay down. They want us to stay the little lowly man. They want us to stay paying tons of fees and bills and all types of penalties, and just they want to drain our pockets. And they don't want us to say a thing. So when we start speaking up, they start changing, okay, how they respond. They start making us go through more, just more processes, to be honest with you. I've seen it myself. What's going on, Love of Tate? That's what look at my people participating. I love participation. Alabama District 7. See, y'all know, we have evolved, right? We used to just say city and state. But yeah, drop your district, say your circuit. Great job. So, yeah, before you could just send in a letter and maybe you get a check off of a letter. Well, now, and you guys, most of y'all are serious. I see some of y'all actually in groups that I'm in. And you're seeing in groups, like I saw in one group that I'm in the other day, I think about 6 people said that Equifax sent them the same 16 affirmative response. What is it? Affirmative defenses to their arbitration, claim. Like 6 people said that Equifax sent them the same 16 responses. And I've seen that in other groups that I'm in before too, where literally the only thing that is different on the letter is the name. They're not even reading your complaint. The lawyers are just sending a letter, hoping that you will kowtow and be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Let me just back out. Because it is scary when you're going through this process and you've never done it before. Arbitration, litigation, this is not stuff that the common man is used to. So this is stuff that, like I said, I'm happy you guys are here so that you can get some exposure, some preparation to take things to the next level. Because I'm telling you right now that nowadays you're going to have to take it to the next level. They don't care nothing about your little affidavit. They don't care nothing about your little paper. Everybody's sending papers. Everybody's sending affidavits. So they want to know, are you new to this or are you true to this? Do you even know what's going to happen when they ignore your affidavit? There are tons of people that are like, I sent the affidavit of truth. Now what? You were supposed to know that before you sent that AOT. You were supposed to know step 2 before you did step 1, really. And I'm not saying to get stuck in analysis paralysis, but what I'm saying is it's going to be very, very hard for you to do this if you don't have a plan of action ahead of time, because your time frames are going to go very, very long. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to lose your place in your process. Life is going to happen. So let me tell you something. You need to have 2 letters drafted for step 2 before you even send out step 1. So when you send out your first demand letter or information letter, you need to have your next letter drafted for if they ignore you, and then a letter drafted for if they respond but unfavorably. And then what you're going to say if they respond but favorably, right? So, that's that. But listen, let me go look at my notes, because, and I'm telling y'all ahead of time, I'm not even gonna lie like I normally do and say I'm not gonna be here for long. No, we're gonna be here for long. We're gonna be here for long, because this is super important. Also, let me tell y'all this. I told you about my personal matters, but I done been to court in the time that I have. And for those of you who know me in real life, you know specifics. I'm not putting my business out here on YouTube like that, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, court is not play. It gets very real and it's very fast and it's all about money. So you better have your ish together, because I'm telling you, Your little papers ain't gonna do it. You're gonna have to end up in court or in litigation or in arbitration. And either way, you need to know what you are doing. And the only way that you can know is by doing. That's how you learn. There were some things I did in court that were good. There were some things I did in court that definitely could have been better. And I was actually able to record it and play it back for a group of my peers in a group that I'm in, and they were encouraging, and they were like, sis, you did good. But running it back, we consulted about it, and yeah, there were some things that I was like, dang it, I knew better. I knew to do that. So I wanted to definitely have my first stream back be about, are you ready for court? All right, I see some comments here. Will this be in your Credit Crushers course, or are you just speaking on the updates only? Yes, when I start back up Credit Crushers, I'm going to revamp some things in Credit Crushers, because in the last month, woo, y'all wouldn't even believe what all I've been involved in and what all I've learned. So I'm going to revamp some parts of Credit Crushers. In the meantime, in between time, if anybody wants a private consultation, they can go to hellokimillie.com and book it from there. There is a form for if you want a private consultation, and I can work with you one-on-one. You just choose how much time you need, and the price is dependent upon that. All right. And let me tell y'all this too. I'm gonna do a separate video about this. There was actually a young lady who booked a consultation with me. I reached out to her, and within like 24, 48 hours, I think it was. And she actually said, hey, I went through all of your previous videos and actually was able to piece together the answers. So I don't need my consultation anymore. Now, you might think that I was mad about that, but I was actually very, very happy, because I'm going to be honest with you all. I put so much good stuff on the internet. You really can get a lot of stuff answered. The consultation is really just convenience. Okay, it's for you to talk to me directly and tell you in real time, oh, you need this, you need that, so that you don't have to watch all of my previous videos, and that I can give you answers. You're just saving time with the consultation. So people who have done consultations with me before, find them valuable. I mean, I've had people book me for 30 minutes, and then at the end of our 30 minutes, they like, girl, let me cash app you for another 30, because I'm not ready for it then. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then I am so proud of the young lady though, and I respect the fact, and I appreciate her for answering me back and not just ignoring me because she found her answer. But I'm so proud of the young lady who actually went through my old videos, and she saved her consultation fee, and she still got her answer. Okay, that's why I don't put fluff out here. I don't just dangle a carrot in front of you and then say, join my program, or join my that $5,000 whatever, 10,000. I'm just making up numbers. I don't just dangle stereotypical stuff and then make y'all pay for stuff. I try to give you the goods up front, but you do pay in time. You're going to pay in time. And if you want to save time, then there are ways that I've packaged it to help you save time. And that does come with a price, because you're closer to me. That usually involves you talking to me directly instead of just on YouTube, me talking to you, and y'all can only talk back in the chat. All right, Rachel White. Look at y'all participating. Rachel White, our sis, is in Tennessee, which is District 21. Now, that's interesting, Rachel White. Let's check this out here now, sis. There is no District 21. This thing can be pretty confusing, y'all, because with the districts, when you go to vote, sometimes you're thinking about a different district, Rachel. You got to be thinking about a different district, because I'm gonna show y'all this right now. It's only 11 for what I'm talking about. Okay, what is going on? No. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. What just happened? Oh no, let me see something. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh my gosh. I tried to pull up a map, and y'all, my computer is locked up. I think I clicked on something that is like trying to put a virus on my computer right now. Hold on a second. Oh, I can't. Let me see something.
Please call up.
Mm-mm. Mhm. What? Can y'all hear that? Hassan, tell him to come here, please, real quick. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe this happened. This has never happened before. This is crazy. Look at my computer. I can't go to another screen. It says don't cut it off, and I'm in the middle of the live. All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to power this thing off and try to come back. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't even know if that happened. Okay, I'm back in. I think, let me see. I have this in my ear. Okay. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. That was so scary. Thank you for your help. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me turn this down. I thought I just infected my whole computer. All right, so here we go. Hey, Rachel White. Oh, I was trying to help. Yeah, I was trying to help Rachel find her district, and I clicked on the wrong thing, and it seemed like ugh. All right, I'm still going to help Rachel, but I should have just went straight to Google because links get infected too quickly. So, all right. The level taste said also the groups you are in, are they in the courses? Kiana was a course attendee, and she will tell you I give you lots of resources. Many of you were on my community text blast last year, and yeah, I also shared some of those groups in there. Um, so yeah, the answer is yes and no. Some of the groups you can't get in because they're invite only, and I will tell y'all right now. invest wisely in this education. Don't just pay anybody. Try. I like to be in smaller groups, not the bigger groups where people are like buying ads and just marketing, because there's a difference between a teacher who actually is teaching something that they're doing and somebody who is a marketer who just has money to buy ads to fill up their groups. Does that make sense to you? So I'm into, because like I said, they're invite only, and I was invited, and we keep a very tight family. But you wouldn't believe how much information I share from those groups that people completely disregard. But there are some free groups that I have definitely linked people to, and I see them in those groups, and they're like, "Hey, Kim," I'm like, "Hey, see you in here getting this knowledge, girl." So yeah, so that's that. What was this other question? Welcome back. We can hear you now. Yeah. Oh, I was like, am I going to have to start this all over? John Davis, I know. You know what? It's a whole technical thing. I scheduled that video. Y'all know I usually don't schedule nothing. I just pop up, right? But I wanted to give you guys a heads up because I've been going for so long, and I scheduled it using YouTube, but then I did my video using StreamYard. So I'm sorry about that miscommunication. I'll get better. Kiana said I was on the text blast. I miss it. I miss it so much, girl. I got to get it back. But this economy has hit people hard. You remember that text blast? I think I was paying like $254 a month when it started out, and then the list grew to over 1,300 people, and then they tried to tell me it was going to cost me $1,000 a month. I was like, you crazy. So yeah, I didn't charge anything for my text blast. Some people do, but I'm not balling like that, y'all. I couldn't pay $1,000 for something that I was offering for free. I just couldn't. So again, that goes, I'm happy you brought that up though, Kiana. I want you guys to understand this. When you like the channel, when you watch the videos, that adds to my YouTube revenue. And this is not a sexy topic. So I don't get paid a lot like some other people do who talk about celebrity news. So the more that you interact with me and I have the money to take the time to do this stuff, then the more I can do it for you. Does that make sense? The more you interact with my content, the more you like it, the more you ask people to subscribe that are interested in this stuff like you, the more you go back and watch old videos, the more it helps me to say, okay, I see they really like this stuff. Let me do more. But I really go based off of you guys' interaction. And like I said, in the last 28 days, having 190 new subscribers, that pushed me to be like, Kim, you need to hurry up and get back on. So we are already almost 25 minutes in. I apologize, but y'all are my hardcore peeps. I'm seeing some of the same old names that I really, really miss. Oh gosh, yes, Kiana, it's no joke. This stuff is expensive. It can get expensive. It can add up quickly. But let's get to it, guys. I want to ask you this. How many of you, and there's going to be a delay, how many of you have been to court before? Say yes. And if it's a traffic ticket, put traffic ticket. If you don't want to say what it's for, that's fine. But I would really love to know what it's for. Drop in the comments below. How many of you have been to court before? Yes or no? And if yes, I would love for you to share what it was for. I already know the majority of you are going to be traffic tickets. I already know that. But I want to know, have you ever been to court before? We're not doing an arbitration right now because I want this video to focus on court. We'll talk about arbitration at another time. The love of Tay say yes. Tay, you want to tell us why? Would you care to share? Oh wow. So hold on. John Davis said district court once. Expert witness. I have several ASE certifications. Okay, forgive me. Isn't that for cars? Isn't that like an automotive safety expert? I'm just pulling that out of thin air. I think when I used to do my automotive program when I was in education, I think ASE, but then again, it could be for something else. If you, I'm nosy, John. Would you mind sharing? You're an expert witness. You get paid, John. Leave me a super chat. No, I'm just playing. Expert witnesses, by the way, guys. Like, I have some colleagues who have paid $10,000 for an expert witness. It just depends on what they're expert in. Okay. Kiana said traffic and lost. So mad about it. Did you try to defend yourself, Kiana? Girl, did you try? Okay. This is going to be a good live, y'all. Running a stop sign. Did you see it, Tate? Did they have overgrown? Okay, that's not bad. When you said yes and that was it, oh, Kiana, girl, she said child support as well. Baby, don't get me started. John Davis said yes. The one in question was for electronics. Okay, I was right. It was over a starter interrupter. Wow, I have an interesting, thank you for answering that. I have an interesting audience. And injunction. Kiana says she also went to court. Okay, see, this stuff is important. Tay said in a summary, I ran a stop sign running late to work and he gave me a ticket. So long story short, the court was closed and I had to go on a specific time to go there. Okay, gotcha. Well, I thank you guys for answering that question. Chances are, let me just tell you right now, court is about commerce. Court is about the business of making money. Okay. This debt that we have and how a lot of cities make their money is off of our backs, y'all. Okay. Slavery didn't go away. It just changed its face. I am telling you right now, and you need to tell your children this, especially as soon as they start driving. At some point in your life, you're going to end up in court, either as the plaintiff or the defendant. And if you live long enough, trust me, you're going to be both. You're going to be the plaintiff at sometimes, and you're going to be the defendant other times. Okay. Kiana said, I did try to represent myself. Well, you know what? Let's give Kiana a clap. Kudos, because that is a very, very hard thing to do. And most people don't even attempt it for that reason. So the fact that you even tried, sis, is huge. Now, I will tell you this. If you ever go to court and try to represent yourself, guys, record yourself, because it's going to happen so fast. Your head is going to spin and you might think you're going to remember what went down, but trust me, you won't. And in court, every single word matters. And you won't know this until you tap into someone with more knowledge than you, so that they can dissect what you said, what the judge said, what opposing counsel said, all of that good stuff. Because that's what happened when I played back my recording of when I was in court for my colleagues. Okay? People who, many of them know more than what I do. Every word matters. So I'm telling you right now, please have these conversations with your kids. You will end up in court. So we need to prepare, because court is a totally different ballgame than any other thing that you are participating in your life. All right? Now, I want to ask y'all this serious question. How do you feel when you walk in the courthouse building? How do you feel mentally, physically, emotionally when you walk in a courthouse building? Okay? When you're sending your stuff on those scanners, when you're about to go into the courtroom, before the judge even enters, just driving up to the dang on courtroom, in the parking lot, how do you feel? Does your body tense up? Do you get anxious? Regardless of whether you're the plaintiff or the defendant, how do you feel? Oh, I'm up here like D'Angelo. How does it feel? Tell me how it feels, y'all. Because yes, tell me how it feel. Yeah. Thank you, Tay, for participating. Anxious, annoyed, confused. Yes. And let me tell you something, Tay. Regardless of whether I was suing somebody or I was the person who had to defend myself, I have felt those same feelings. Like, how is this going to end up? What is the judge going to say? What's going to happen? It's a feeling I do not like. Kiana said angry because I know it's a money plot. Come on, sis. Yes, Rachel, that's a good one. Intimidated. So we're going to talk about that. I'm telling y'all right now, this is going to be a live stream, but it's going to be good. If y'all can stand the test time, it's going to be good. You might have to break it up. You might have to come back and watch it in bits and pieces, but it's going to be good. Intimidated. That summed up everything that Tay just said. Like I'm walking into a lion's den. Yes, because someone is going to nitpick anything I'm going to say to discredit. Come on, John. Very descriptive, very accurate, very true. Rachel White said nervous. All of the above. All right, so let's get into this, y'all, okay? There's a reason for that. We're going to talk about it, but I'm going to tell y'all right now, we've got to learn this information that I'm just going to touch on today. And this is probably going to be a multi-part series. So I'm going to come back and probably retitle this part 1. But I'm telling you right now, court is going to be a part of your life. There's nothing you can do about it. And if you, not if, y'all are my people. So when you master this, you're going to be able to arm your children and your family members who are willing to learn with this information so that they don't feel all of those negative emotions that y'all just said. Because I'm telling you guys right now, people are losing their lives to the courtroom, literally and figuratively. I want you to think about it like this. When you go to work, you work for what? Money. Money. When you go to work, it's taking your time. You're trading time for money. You only have so much time in your life. So when somebody takes your money, they're taking a portion of your life. Okay? So you got to learn this information, because not learning it is going to cost you so much more. And you've got to learn it to the point that you walk into the courthouse and you feel like you walking into Publix. If y'all know me, y'all know I love me some Publix. That's a grocery store down here in the South, y'all. Okay. And the slogan at Publix is love to shop here. That's how you should feel when you walk into the courthouse. You should feel like love to shop here, because it's about commerce. It's about money. They're used to making money off of you. But what if you can make money off of them? What if you knew you were going to win your court case? What if, I got so much to share with y'all. But we got to turn it around. I want you to think about how empowering it would feel if you walk into the courthouse not feeling all those negative emotions, and instead you walk with your head held up high, because you know that they're not going to get over on you this time. Now, court is all about commerce. Do you guys know the guy, that football player? Have y'all, Travis Randolph, right? Have y'all been following him? You drop down in the comments below, yes or no. Do you know the story of Travis Randolph? He was in the news recently. Crazy story, y'all. He met this girl, and they had a fight one night. She got jealous and she called her brother and his friends and was like, come take care of this fool. I think it was 4 guys that came over to his house where his mother was, his brother was, and they're just starting a ruckus in this man's yard. And long story short, one of the guys who came there, who was summoned there by the jealous girlfriend, ends up not alive. Okay, because Travis was armed to defend his family. So now he was on, and this was a football player, y'all. Okay, let me look him up. Y'all got to know this story. This is very, very important, because it was crazy that this man was actually on trial for defending his family against some guys who came to mess with him. Okay, over some jealous girl. Let me share this with y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to stay current. I'm just messing with you. But no, seriously, you didn't know about this, Rachel? Who else didn't know about it? Who knew about it? Who didn't know about it? Oh, that link was probably too long. All right, let me just share my screen and show you guys this. Look up the video, and I will tell you this. Vlad TV did an interview with him recently. It was a good interview. I don't like referring out Vlad. I don't like sharing his stuff, because he will quickly try to strike down your gosh, I forgot how to do a screen share, y'all. Okay, but he will try to strike down your YouTube video. So I'm just going to show you right here. This is Travis Randolph. He'll be coming on the screen shortly. And he had to defend himself against these types of charges, guys. Okay. Let me see how far back is my delay. Okay, there we go. He had to actually defend himself, and he spent time in jail, y'all. A good bit of time in jail. defending himself against these charges, which you would think that it shouldn't even be an issue. This was a very long case. It was in the news. And it got a lot of media coverage for numerous reasons. A lot of people felt like the girlfriend should have been charged for inciting all of this. And there's just, get into it, okay? But basically, this is a man who just simply defended his family on his property, and he almost lost his life over it. He did lose a good bit of his life. But let's talk about money. How much do you think Travis Rudolph, why do I keep calling him Randolph? How much do you think it is Randolph, and I put it wrong here, y'all, my bad. But how much do you think Travis Randolph paid for his freedom? I was up late when I put this together, so forgive the type. Just off the top of your head, if you had to guess, how much do you think he paid for his freedom in litigation fees? I think the trial was, I don't know, was it 18 months? I'm not sure. But I want y'all to guess, because legal fees are no joke, whether you are right or wrong. And even when you win, sometimes you can still lose. How much do you think he paid for his freedom? I need at least one person to guess, y'all. I know some of you might be driving or doing stuff and working and not even supposed to be on this live, but give me one guess just for fun. Let me see here. Let me hide this. Anybody? Let's see here. Because he paid handsomely. And let me tell you something too interesting. Tay, you own it. She said $200K. Yep, that's what he said in the Vlad interview. Hey, Marcus said 10 million. You know what? I wouldn't put anything past anybody. That's not a bad guess. But in Vlad interview, he said he paid $200K. And y'all, this is money that was pretty much donated to him because he has those NFL connections, those football connections. So other people donated to his efforts, which means if he were just a regular schmegular guy on the street, if he was your cousin, if he was your brother, if he was your son, for the majority of us, he would be sitting in jail, even though he should be innocent, simply because he did not have the money, okay? The money to defend himself. The courts are making money off of innocent people just trying to stay free. Do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm getting worked up already. Tay said, I'm definitely working, but it's slow, so I'm listening in. Oh, thank you so much for joining. And I do understand that. I appreciate you for still participating. Kiana said 300K. Yeah, close. 200K is a lot of money, though. It can buy, well, I was going to say a house, but not in this economy. But Not Saram said, birth certificate is the reason why they can judge matters on people. The need to correct your statuses in court. It's not just the birth certificate, though. We are contracting with them continuously through the driver's license, through other benefits and privileges that we take through the government. We are constantly doing things to put ourselves under their jurisdiction. But birth certificate is definitely one of them. And thank you for sharing that. Yes. OJ Simpson's dream team was 50K per day. I didn't know that, John, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So let me ask us plain folks, where we gonna get this money from? If we ever get hemmed up in a situation like that, because y'all, this was Travis Randolph just had a jealous girlfriend. And if y'all saw the trial, she was on the stand very indignant. She pissed me off. She pissed me off. Oh, did anybody see the trial? Do y'all know the heifer I'm talking about who started? And then how about she was jealous about, all right, I need to do that as a whole nother video. She was jealous because of something with him and another girl, and basically he complimented another girl. Meanwhile, this chick is married. You hear me? Unfreaking believable. She should be charged. Did anybody see the trial? Marcus says, Seaport, stand up. See, now, don't get me started, Marcus. This is my Savannah brother. We can't be having that. Hey, we can't be bonding like that because you're going to be distracted. But y'all, this is how important it is. And I'm telling you right now, regardless of whether you ran a stop sign or you had a traffic ticket, I'm sure that whatever citation you got when you went to court and you had to pay for it, it was inconvenient to you, right? Many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So how is an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 coming out of your pocket in fees and fines impacting your family? Does it hurt? In my D'Angelo voice, how does it feel? It don't feel good, right? Not at all. So this is why we really got to start investing the time to understand the court system. All right? It's taking your money. And because of all of those negative emotions that you guys said you feel, I don't care if it's something as small as a court, a traffic citation, which that's like so much of it. Traffic citation, they love they'll ticket you if you're driving too slow, if you're driving too fast, if your tint too dark, if your tail light out. Oh, the license plate, the license plate light bulb is out. They want to ticket you for anything, right? So oftentimes what will happen is life be life and people forget, they don't show up for the court, and now you got a bench warrant. So a small problem becomes a bigger problem. Let's say you go to court. If you were speeding and your ticket could be $1,000. Let's say you can't pay it. Now you're on probation, which is just another form of incarceration, y'all. And now you pay a monthly fees to a probation officer. It's all about money. It's all about commerce. Okay. Let's say you get a large ticket fee. I mean, you go to court. All right. Let's say a credit card company sues you. This is going on a lot right now. And you get the summons in the mail and you just freak out and you say, I'm not going to court, or you forget. You could not only have a bench warrant, but you could have a garnishment. And oftentimes people don't even find out until they get their paycheck and the money has been taken out. Now they're running to HR to find out what happened. And they're finding out after the fact, oh yeah, by law, we had to garnish your check because this settlement, y'all, this stuff can get very messy very quick. And it can really ruin your life. Okay? So it is very important. If you've never been in trouble with the court system before, kudos to you. But I know of too many people who have had to come up with bond money quickly, regardless of whether the person was in the right or whether they did nothing wrong at all, and they just had the wrong person. And it has severely crippled the family. It has had a domino effect. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, almost 100% of court cases are settled by default due to no-shows. People just being scared and not knowing what to do, so they don't even show up to do anything. And what you got to understand is that your rights don't matter if you're not willing to defend them. That's why you hear, y'all ever heard the phrase silence is acquiescence? That's what it means. The only rights you have are the ones that you know about and are willing to defend. So I'm telling y'all right now, please learn this stuff. And when you're going through this stuff, it's going to be a lot of moving parts. Let's start with the first one, okay? Are you talking to the right person? Are you talking to the right person? Meaning, some of you learn, like, let's say, for example, consumer protection laws. You learn, oh, wait, let me see what John said, because he's been saying good comments. John said, tickets for anything ABC 7 reported in Chicago, ambulance drivers getting tickets for, shut your mouth. Ambulance drivers getting tickets for running red lights with the emergency flashes on. Okay, I never heard of that one. I believe you. I'm going to look that up. That's crazy. But I believe it. Court is about commerce, y'all. It is not about justice. And if you think it is, you're a fool. You're a fool. Marcus said, me and my wife beat a debt collector in court. Marcus, would you be willing to do a live with me and talk more about that? Because I'm sure everybody right here, just let me know. And if so, please shoot me a email so I could connect with you at ceocamille.com. ceocamille@gmail.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you and your wife would be willing, or your wife, you and your wife, whoever I can get, if you would be willing to talk on my channel about that, I would love to have you. And I'm sure everybody else would love to hear it. Wouldn't your class? So that's my email. Shoot me an email, please, if we could set that up. Because people think that people can't do it, and you absolutely can. A debt collector is the last person y'all should be paying. They have no rights to your money at all. I have done videos talking to you about this. You guys will often ask, first of all, y'all won't even say nothing when y'all get the dunning letter within the first 30 days of them assuming the debt, because you don't know what to do and you're scared and life be lifing. So y'all don't say nothing. They put it on your credit. Eventually they sue you for it. If you don't show up to court, I already told you what happens in that instance. But if you do show up to court, it's very intimidating. Again, we're going to get into it. They set it up that way on purpose. And they might present statements. That is not validation of a debt. Okay, I have told y'all this before. There's a bill of sale and there's a purchase agreement. And oftentimes they'll show you the bill of sale, but they won't show you the purchase agreement, because that has the details of the purchase. And oftentimes there will be a disclaimer that says, we make no claims whatsoever as to how much this person owes us. We're just selling you a debt for pennies on a dollar. But we don't even know if the amount is true. Oftentimes in the purchase agreement, there will be a disclaimer that says, we're selling you this debt on the condition that you do not sue the consumer, because we ain't going to verify nothing. And we don't want to be dragged into court with you. And that's the part that you don't know. That's why they don't want to show you the purchase agreement. And you don't even know to ask for the purchase agreement. You just see some statements with your name on it, to Chase, to whoever you was paying, and you like, well, they said they got it now, and I know I had it at one time, so I guess I got to pay this person. Oh no, let me tell you something. If I borrow from your mama, I owe your mama. I don't owe you. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Think about it, y'all. If somebody, if you borrow money from Auntie Frida, and then cousin Freddie said, I heard you owe my mama some money. Well, she said you can pay me. You be like, I'm giving it to Auntie Frida. You ain't giving it to Freddie. Because then what could happen? You could give it to Freddie, and now your Auntie Frida come and say, you still owe me that money. You like, no, I gave it to Freddie. You say, who told you to give it to Freddie? That you owe me the money. And the same thing can happen in real life. The original creditor can come back to you oftentimes and be like, where my money at? You like, I gave it to Portfolio Recovery. Like, well, you was a dummy. So yeah, let me know, Marcus. In the court of law, everything is a money grab, sis. Say that. I will. It's really not much. It's really not much. We got lucky. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But whatever you can share, I'll take. Was it Capital One? Because I would love the details. See, yeah, they want to hear, y'all. Capital One tried to take me to court, and before I started learning consumer law, I saw how the amounts were incorrect. So what happened with that, Tay? I would love to know. Any of you that would love to share or have a story, feel free to send your stories to ceocamille@gmail.com. And yeah, I would love to start doing segments on my channel where I bring y'all up and we dialogue in front of the audience about some details, each one teach one. Yeah, I think that would be really, really helpful and a great value add to the family. Okay. Dang, my computer is freezing a little bit. Okay. Let me see here. Come on, computer. So I can't highlight the comment, but I'm going to read it. Tay said the credit repair company was trying to get, yeah, it's freezing again. Dang. Oh, my computer is freezing badly. Close this out. What is this doing back here? Hey, my computer is freezing badly.
You okay?
Yeah, it's on.
No. You still live.
I'm live, but they can't hear me because it's frozen. I'm listening to myself in my ear, and I'm just like, this is. Wow. I thought y'all were going to the store.
I'm going now.
Okay. He's going with you or he's staying here?
He's staying. He ain't got no clothes.
Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me see. I think I'm back. Oh, look at y'all waiting on me. I am so sorry. In the words of the great Beyonce, you won't break my joy. Or is it steal my joy? I don't know. But sorry about that, y'all. Okay, I'm not going to waste too much time. My computer, I definitely did something wrong to my computer and it's affecting it. This is not how I wanted to come back, but it is what it is. We're going to keep going, though. We are going to keep going. So I actually forgot where I was. Let me try to find my spot again. Let me see here. Okay, y'all can hear me now? Y'all can hear me? Okay, good. Thanks for waiting on me. Now let's see if we can get back into the groove of things. Okay, we were talking about going to court, defending yourself in court. Marcus said he would be willing to talk. Let me go look at we were talking about Capital One. Okay, Marcus said, I literally just explained the situation, what he and his wife did, how they won against a debt collector. And I'm so happy that y'all did that. I'm happy you knew your rights, you defended your rights, you weren't afraid. But I definitely still would like to talk to you guys because it's not so much just about the logistics. What did you say? Like you said, I just told everybody how it pretty much works. But I want you to describe the environment, the feeling, how, and every judge is different, and so are courtrooms. But I want you to give them a sense of the format and the flow more so. I want to start doing interviews with people who have been through this successfully and unsuccessfully. There's so much that you can learn from both types of cases. Okay. Tay says she will email it to me. Great. That would be awesome. All right. So let's get back to where we were. I'm going to pull up my notes again on another screen so that I can get back to it. So yeah, what I want to tell y'all is this, like, when you're starting out, what I need you to understand is you've got to know, are you talking to the right person? Because I'm telling you right now that oftentimes what will happen is that you will learn this information and you're sitting on the phone with a customer service rep talking about 15 USC. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to look stupid. You're going to sound stupid. You're going to look stupid. It's going to be a complete and utter of time. And I saw a video recently, videos, where like cops show what they go through in the day-to-day life and they do different things. Um, I gotta show y'all this. I saw one recently where this woman stole from Target. Well, the cops got called to Target, and this woman was basically, she bought a whole bunch of stuff at Target. And when she got to the register, she didn't have enough money on her card. So she basically, y'all ain't never gonna believe this. Tell me if y'all saw this. When she got to the register, she basically told them, I need to speak to the manager because as part of my reparations, like I need y'all to feel the difference, make up the difference. I don't have enough money for my groceries, and the cash register was like, okay, let me get a manager for you. The manager comes, and the woman, you see her on camera, like walking toward the manager, almost trying to like push the manager with her breasts. And the manager is saying, okay, if you want to speak to someone about tomorrow, and the woman wanted an answer now. Okay. And then it escalates to where this guy comes out to defend the manager that she's basically backing to a wall, and he tells her, I'm going to call the cops. He goes into his office, and the woman follows him into his office, and basically he hits her in the face because she's charging him. But when the cop gets done, she's like, this is the bigger discussion. I'm trying to have a greater discussion for my community. This is about reparations. My people have been done wrong for years, and Target is a great company, and I know they can make this right with me. And it's like, okay,
Blue Ash, Ohio. Security
first
video
of all,
shows 37-year-old Karen Ivory checking out at the register.
giving you free groceries
When
doesn't help the
bill
community.
surpasses $1,000, Ivory says
Let's start
she
there,
won't
right?
have enough.
But on
Okay.
top of that, sis, what I need you to understand is, and what the cops were trying to explain to her is, even if what you are saying is true, you're talking to the wrong people. If you don't have enough money to get your groceries and you want Target to make a donation to you or help you out, if you want to see if they have some type of, first of all, what do we do when we don't have enough money when we get to the register, class? Put ish back, right? We'd be like, all right, put that back, put this back. Oh yeah, I'll get that next week. Or maybe you put stuff back, right? You don't start a ruckus in the store saying this is about how my people have been disenfranchised and I want Target to give me my reparations tonight. You talking to the wrong people and you're making the wrong argument. So what I need y'all to understand is, first and foremost, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're trying to define these rights that you just now found out about, do not get on the phone with customer service and be like, HRJ, HJR 192 says there is no money, and don't sound like a crazy person, because when you watch that video, you're going to see that's literally how that lady looked. She looked straight up crazy. It was unbelievable. I'm gonna drop the link down here in the chat for y'all. Y'all got to go watch that video. It's funny, but it's not. But I want you to understand that is how you look to people when you talk to the wrong people and you make the wrong arguments, even though somewhere in there is the truth. Okay, so that's the first thing. You have got to know, who are you talking to? All right, because somebody can't give you what they got. Customer service reps only have so much information and so much power. Depending on what you're learning and what you are doing, you're going to need to direct your statements, your affidavits, your questions, your requests, your demands, your invoices to specific parties. All right? So a lot of times if you're not getting the right results, it is because of that. You got the wrong argument or you're talking to the wrong person. So let's start that. Does that make sense to you all? Please tell me, does it make sense to you all? You drop yes or no. I like participation, okay? Now that we're back on track. Okay? Now, anybody? I know it's a little bit of a delay. Okay. So speaking of who are you talking to, let me ask you this. When you go to court, who do you think you're talking to? I'm going to give you 3 options. Are you talking to the judge? Are you talking to the record, really? Or are you talking to the opposing counsel? Opposing counsel can be either way. If you're the plaintiff, then are you talking to the defendant? If you're the defendant, then are you talking to the plaintiff? Okay? Drop in the chat down below. When you go to court, who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Are you talking to the judge? Are you talking to the record? Or are you talking to the opposing party? What do you guys think? Don't overanalyze this. Just drop what you think initially. I can tell you right now, at first I was wrong. I was wrong. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion with you all. Duval Dukes, he said, you're talking to the record. That's what I'm talking about. We're not going to waste no time. Okay, Rachel said you're talking to the judge. I thought like Rachel. I thought you go to court to talk to the judge. But Duval Dukes is right. You are talking to the record, y'all. You are talking to the record. You want things to be on the record. You are speaking so that it can be on the record. Your goal when you get there is to get things on the record. Have you ever watched a show and you said, you see the lawyer say, let the record show, let the record show. They want to make sure it's on the record. Now, Rachel, I'm so glad that you said judge, because that's what the majority of people are thinking, but they don't want to say that because nobody wants to be wrong. But it's set up, right? It is set up. You're looking at the judge and you are literally talking to the judge. So I see why you thought that, because you have no reason not to think that. But Duval is just knocking it out. Duval, who are you? Show yourself. Who are you? Because Duval he's right. You're talking to the record. And why are you talking to the record? For appeal purposes. You need things to be reflected on the record, because when things go funky donkey, which inevitably they will, because these courts are nothing more than a circus show, you need the record to reflect that there were some things that were not done right, so that if you choose to appeal, the appellate judge can see per the record that, hey, yeah, this person should have another go at it. So this is very important. And I'm happy that you guys stuck around to hear this, because I thought it was the judge, because that's how they set it up. But you're really talking to the record. All right. John Davis said, counsel asks questions, judge, jury decides who is credible and what is justice. Right. So let's talk about Duval laughing at me. But let's get into this, guys. Okay. So when you go to court, your judge is supposed to be an unbiased arbitrator. They're supposed to be like a referee. When you see that judge, you need to basically see them in some Foot Locker stripes. Okay? But oftentimes the judge will act like the dang on lawyer. They'll act like they brought the case against you. And because we don't know any better, we take that crap. But you shouldn't. You should, and this only comes, your confidence is going to come with your competency, okay? So the more you learn about this stuff, the more confident you will be to intelligently communicate in court to the record that the judge is out of order. What is we doing here? The more intelligently you will be able to check the judge, okay, for stepping outside of their lane. You don't work for the plaintiff judge. You're not trying me. You can't be the judge and the law. Nah. If you're going to moderate between the two of us, just do that. But don't do his job for him, because you ain't trying to do my job for me. So I know the judge comes in a black robe, but going forward, you need to. You ever heard how people say, when you're giving a speech, envision the whole audience naked? Okay, cool. So that you don't be intimidated. So when you go to court, you need to see that judge in some Foot Locker stripes, because their purpose is to be a referee, to be like, when an objection is made, to say sustained, overruled, and basically oversee the proceedings. But it is not you against the judge. You are speaking to the record. You want things on the record, exactly for what Duval said, for appeal purposes. And if you really truly understand this stuff, you'll be doing more appeals. But the court process is designed to wear your butt out and your pockets right along with it. Okay? Rachel said, because no court reporter is present most time. Yes, but you do know you can get your own court reporter, right? Sometimes you can go in the basement of the court. They might be like $40 an hour, $60 an hour. And seriously, like if you're doing something that's worth thousands of dollars, it might be worth it. Seriously, it might be worth it. So, and that's something that you would have to see for your particular court. Okay. But I'm so happy that y'all are here to have this discussion. I could literally cry tears of joy right now. But yes. And they will try to do that on purpose. You might have to bring your own court reporter, but that's all right. That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. All right, let me stop. Kiana said, Duval, are you from Jacksonville, Florida? You know, I was wondering that too. When I see Duval Dukes, I'm like, little Duval. But I don't know y'all in real life, so I can't be calling y'all pet names. Sorry, Duval. Much respect, brother. Rachel says supposed to be, and yes, they do. Okay, I'll be running my mouth, so I don't know what that was in reference to, but I'm agree with you. See, Tate said, I didn't know that. Yes to educating us. Yes to y'all being here to get educated. Duval from Philly, y'all. Well, that was anticlimactic because we sure trying to put you in Jayville, Florida. All right. So yeah, guys. All right. I like it when we can have fun. I already told y'all this is going to be a long stream. So y'all got it. I told you to come with your pen and your paper to take notes. You are speaking to the record. All right. So let's talk about this speaking thing too. Let me ask y'all this. All right. Let me see here. What do you think about this, y'all? Are lawyers the only ones that can make objections in court? Yes or no? Oh, Duval, you live in Georgia? Where? I shouldn't be asking you that, but I'm nosy. Are you in Savannah? Are you in Atlanta? Hot Atlanta, the hot mess. So are attorneys and lawyers, are they the only one that can say objection in court? True or false? Okay, we got some answers coming in now. Tay said no. Okay. John Davis said, no disrespect, but in some cases, records don't mean much. That is true, especially with arbitration. Yeah, that's why we're not. Let me read your whole comment before I start, because like I said, I got to respect the people that are driving and can't read. So John Davis's whole comment said, no disrespect, but in some cases, records don't mean much, especially with arbitration, which is unappealable. Only exception I've heard is if the arbitrator acted egregiously. Correct. And that's why I said in the beginning of the stream, I know with all of the interruptions with my technology, and I apologize again. That's why I said at the beginning of this stream, we're not talking about arbitration. We're talking about, are you ready for court? Because arbitration is a totally different beast, and you are 100% on the money. Okay. You're 100% on the money with what you said. Absolutely. So thank you for making that comment. And I know that you meant no disrespect at all. I respect your opinion and I appreciate your contribution. Kiana said, this makes sense. After I left court, my girl Kiana, after I left court, I realized I choked up and didn't pin them to the wall. Yes, because I was so pissed by being there. Yes. Kiana, you know, me and you already know how we are, sis. We the same person, but with a different face. Yes. So Kiana, and y'all, let me tell y'all this. First of all, let's get to the answer. Duval strikes again. He said false. Absolutely right. Attorneys and lawyers are not the only ones who can say objection in court. And Tay said it too. She said no earlier when I first put up the question. So let me respect Tay. Kiana just said no. We can make an objection. We can make objections too. Absolutely correct. You can. Now let me tell y'all this. When you go into the courtroom, oftentimes you ain't the only one in there. They don't care nothing about your privacy. So there will be people in the audience, regular schmegular folk, waiting for their cases to come up to, because y'all know they come. I mean, this is like a revolving door. They'll be like, so-and-so against so-and-so. You might talk for 2 to 3 minutes and the next people come up. They just making money hand over fist. And if y'all are not counting up these fines and how much, and if you don't know in your area how much it costs to even file a court case, sometimes how much it costs to file an answer, they making money hand over fist. They don't care nothing about you. They trying to get you in and up out of there as quickly as possible, piss you off so they can hold you in contempt, get some more money out of you. So I'm telling y'all, they'll try to set things up to make it seem like you can't do certain things that you absolutely can do. There's no court recorder there. Get your own. You can do that. If you don't have a lawyer and you're representing yourself, which most times we are, because oftentimes these things are only like a few $100s, maybe a few $1,000s. Can you make an objection in court? Do you have to pass the bar to say objection? Absolutely not. You can say objection too. And when I was in court, the minute that the opposing counsel started talking, because sir, you're just an attorney representing a corporation. This is not between me and you. And you're not even the attorney whose information was originally on my paperwork. And that's what I said in court. I said, objection in the court. And then the judge going to say, and guess what? When I said objection, everybody behind me laughed. They were like, this chick been watching Law and Order? And the judge did not even let me say what my objection was before she said, he's just stating the facts. Now, tell me what was wrong with that statement. Can anybody guess? And I was just so caught off guard by her automatically cutting me off literally after I said objection without letting me state what my objection was, that like Kiana, I got flustered and I let her get me off my square. But she said, there's no need to object. He's just stating the facts. Tell me what was wrong with that, y'all. Tell me what was wrong with that. Can anybody guess? Just make any type of guess, because I need some type of participation, and y'all are doing great. But I was so pissed. I was so pissed about that later on when I listened to the recording. What was wrong with what just happened? Can anybody guess? We got a lot to get through, so if no one does guess, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I'll just tell you. Really, the judge doesn't have a right to say that he's stating the facts. Thank you, Kiana. That heifer was acting like she was his representation. What do you mean? So you mean to tell me you already decided that what he says is fact and what I said is not? It's screw me. And what I should have done, as soon as she said objection, he's just stating the facts. I should have said, objection, is the honorable judge now taking sides with opposing counsel and making a decision based on hearsay that what he says is true? Or something to that nature. Because screw me, you got some nerve. But honestly, when I said objection and she cut me off and said that, I didn't even really catch until I played the recording back that she said he was stating facts. I was thrown off by her cutting me off and people behind me laughing. And this is why I wanted to do this live, because I want y'all to understand that this ish gets real. Okay, you can listen to all these YouTubers who ain't never been to court a day in their life, be like, oh, 15 USC, such and such says this. Go get your money. Don't be fooled. Don't get played. When the proverbial ish hits the fan, it don't play out like that. And like I said, they ain't taking little funky dunky letters no more. They trying to get you to take them to court to see if you really about this life. Okay? Duval said should have told you take exception towards judge's refusal to make a ruling, objection, or sustain. Duval, show yourself. Who are you? But absolutely, that's the other thing too. So I do have this in my notes, but Duval is helping me. We're just going to go jump ahead to it. The other thing that people do, number one, they don't know they can make an objection. They think you have to be an attorney or a lawyer to make an objection. You don't. But the other thing is, once people make an objection, oftentimes the judge will continue talking and they might say something like, okay, and then just allow the other party to keep talking. But they won't actually rule on the objection. If you make an objection, do not allow that judge to go forward to proceed without ruling on the objection for the record. They have to give a ruling for the record, sustained or overruled. And this is where you have to say, am I to believe, let the record reflect that the honorable judge has not made a ruling for the record on the objection. You got to get that on the record, because remember, you are not talking to the judge. You ain't talking to opposing counsel. You surely don't give a dang about the people behind you who ain't going to even try half of what you trying. You are speaking to the record. So if the judge does not rule on the objection and that's not reflected in the record, you ain't got nothing. It's just like you didn't make the objection. So that's going to be important, y'all. That's going to be important. Thank you for that, Duval. B. Will said, rep in Detroit. Do you know your district? Do you know your circuit? Drop it down below. Kiana said she was showing favoritism to the opposition. Absolutely. They work together. Okay, they are not here for justice. They are not here for you. They are not here for the truth. They are not here for what's right. They are here for money. And they want you in and out. And they don't want you exercising your rights in court because remember, it's a circus. It's a show. It's a play. It is a production. It's a big old Broadway production. That's how you need to think of it. Lights, camera, action. And they're putting basically all those people behind you whose cases are before and after you, they don't want them to get any type of clues that you can even assert yourself the way that you're going to do in court if you really get this stuff down. So they have to play favorites and do all this trickery that they do, because if you come to court and you're like, objection, and while they're laughing, the judge is like, sustained, and then there's this whole thing going on, and at the end you win, everybody in court is going to be like, what the hell? And don't you know everybody going to be following you outside the courthouse steps like, what just happened? What just happened? The judge, the lawyers, all of the people involved in this money-making scheme, they don't want that to happen. So they're going to try to make you look like the fool. And you will look like the fool if you do not know what you are doing. I will say that. Right? Marcus, when you say, are you saying record or are you saying record? Because I will tell you this. I did record when I went to court. But ooh, I was scared. I was so scared. Because they had on the door like no recording. And I'm in Georgia, which is a single party state. You can record in there, but don't get caught. Like they will take your phone. So I had my thing on do not disturb. I had it on what you call that thing? Pilot mode, airplane mode, do not disturb mode. And I just had my recorder on. And I was just trying to strategically place it so that the screen was off so they wouldn't see that it was recording, but also have it not obstructed so that it could clearly record all of us. But yeah, if you're saying record, I will say record definitely if you can. There are some videos of people who have recorded themselves in court, but you'll see oftentimes the angle is very crazy because they usually had it in their lap or something like that. So yeah, just if you can record, do it, because you'll learn a lot listening to the recording back. But make sure that you are super duper careful. So let's talk about this right quick, y'all. With regards to the court, because I already told you it's a stage play, it's a production, it's a show. I heard something recently, and this just really stayed with me. They set it up this way on purpose. The way court really should be set up is like, think of it this way. It should be set up like a table, and you and the opposing party are facing each other, and the court and the judge is in the middle, all sitting at the table, same height, same level, and same clothes, really. You know what I'm saying? But court is set up. There was a model for the way that court is set up. And I didn't come up with this. I heard this on another channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. Do you know what court is modeled after? It's modeled after church. Think about it. It is set up and modeled after church. When you walk into church, doesn't it look like a courtroom? Look at how the judge's seat is elevated, like an altar. Look at how the pews of the courtroom look like the pews of your church. Look at how the judge wears a robe. Like old Baptist pastors used to wear dark robes, right? Now everybody doing all these colors and stuff, but it's set up like the church. And this is why it's so important to understand the history of the courts and law and legal stuff, because as this stuff as you start to know this stuff, it's going to make sense to you, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, they did that on purpose. They did that because even though the judge is supposed to be an unbiased, mediator, so to speak, they want, in your mind, they want him to appear as this huge authoritative figure that you really should not question, like the pastor, like the priest. And originally, like back in the day, the people who decide, like if you were wilding out, those issues were taken to the church for the priest to decide on. So the court system modeled themselves when the court started taking over, these crimes and started making judgments on people's actions and behavior in society. They modeled it after the church on purpose so that you wouldn't question the authority of the judge, even though you have a right to. Has anybody else ever heard this? Does it make sense to you? How do you feel about what I just said? Is that an aha moment for you? Because earlier y'all mentioned being angry, being confused, and the best adjective I liked was feeling intimidated, walking into the courtroom business. All of this is by design. All of this is you're not crazy. It's by design. So did you guys know that the courtroom, or did it ever occur to you that there are similarities between the courtroom and the church? Let me know down below. So I definitely want to make that point. Let me just check out. I have a lot of stuff to cover. We've gotten through a good bit of it, but I don't want to miss out. Now, along with how they designed the court, I want you to understand that court is a totally different language. Legalese is no joke. And you guys know that right now, if you went to China, you would not expect to know anything that was going on. Why? Because if you don't speak Chinese, there would be no way for you to know what's going on. Rachel said, aha, aha, aha. Like on Coming to America, right? Okay, so that was an aha moment for you, Rachel? Good. Because I want y'all to when you understand this, it's going to help to mitigate your fears bit by bit. There's so many pieces to this puzzle. Okay. Okay, let's see what John Davis says, our resident expert. Okay, John Davis says, Brendel Elmore, New York 2020. He's citing a case, y'all. See, John Davis know what he's doing. Court transcript read him saying, I shot the dude. But somebody recorded and the audio is clear. What? He said, I shut the door. Appeal ruled the transcript admissible. Oh, I gotta look that up. Hold on one second. He says, and the audio recording inadmissible. Elmore went to prison. Oh my gosh. Thank you for posting that. What did I tell y'all? Court is not about what's fair. It's not about justice. It's not about the truth. It's about money. And here's the whole thing with John Davis telling us he went to prison. Y'all do know, oh gosh, what's it called? There's big money in prisons, basically. It's the corporate correctional something. But you can look up the prospectus for the corporate correctional system or whatever it's called. We'll talk about that in another video, but you can look at the prospectus and see how much the per diem is per prisoner per day, y'all. You can look up how they have there's a delay. Tell me what you were saying false to, Marcus. You may have paused the video and still might be answering the question from long ago about objections. I've done that before. Been like 30 minutes behind on a live because I went to the bathroom or got some chocolate pretzels or something. But yeah. Okay, so let me go back to what John Davis said. I'm gonna look up that case. Have never heard of it before. Totally believe it, because courts are about commerce and they make money when people go to jail. They make money when people are in prison. The longer you are incarcerated, and probation is a form of incarceration, it's all about commerce. It's all about making money off of us. Slavery hasn't changed. It's just changed. Slavery hasn't ended. It has just changed its face. It has just changed its face. Yes, Kiana, prison is big business. Prison is big business, okay? Huge. So along with how they position the court, y'all, legalese is a language you have got to learn. And it's so important because they are conditioning us. And I'm telling y'all, TikTok is fun, dancing is fun, but make sure your kids know how to speak English. Make sure your kids know how to write cursive. Make sure you are dialoguing with your kids. And if they answer you, huh, what, say what now? And if they're running words together, sometimes I do it for fun, but I know how to speak when I need to speak correctly. Okay. If your kids are doing that stuff, pull them up, y'all. Don't let them get away with that stuff, because they love dummying our kids down. All these social media apps, all this text talk, all these truncated words, talking with emojis, and they are eating it up, because they know that we will never, ever, 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 ever be able to read these legal digests and understand what they are saying, let alone go to court and articulate ourselves, remember, in a way that is intelligent. They do not mind you asserting your rights as long as you don't embarrass them and pull the what you call it, the curtain, pull the curtain on them, like on the Wizard of Oz. Okay, as long as you don't notify the public, oh, I got your number, they'll leave you alone. My sister-in-law has gotten out of tons of traffic tickets, and she said from the giddy up, when they call and roll, the way that she answers when they call her name, she puts them on notice. Oh, I ain't no regular one. So guess what? Her case always gets called last. That's a trick they do too. When they call you last, because you've already let them know, I ain't like these other ones. When they call you last, it's because they don't want no witnesses, baby. They don't want nobody to see what you about to smack down on their butts. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Kiana said, make sure they can spell. Make sure they can spell. Make sure they can speak. Make sure they can hear. Make sure they can comprehend. Make sure they have studied. Because what they are doing right now is they'll give us words like, do you know what a person is? Well, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm a person. My child's a person. My spouse is a person. But in the legal world, the word person takes on more than just a physical natural being. You got natural person, right? And there's different types of persons. Corporate entities can be persons depending on certain things. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Hey, you in my ear? I'm still on the live. Do I have Yes. Okay. Yes, I do. I have 3 different sizes of that. Okay, bye. So yeah, when you hear person, you think a person, but you wouldn't think of a business as a person, but depending on certain things, yes, it is. When you hear the word may, you think, oh, I may do it or I might not. I may not. It's an option. But in certain legal texts, may means must. That's not the definition that we know of. So you got to study this stuff. Okay, you got to understand that they're tricking us with the language on purpose. So sometimes what you think you're answering to, you're really not at all. So I just can't emphasize it enough. It's a totally different language. This is nothing to play with. This is something, and this is how a lot of people who, even if they know somewhat what they're doing, they end up in jail or they end up in very, very bad situations because they inadvertently agreed to something or got themselves in a situation thinking that they knew more than what they actually did because they really didn't put the time and the study in. This is the danger with only watching YouTube videos. And yes, I'm on YouTube and I'm still saying that because it's the truth. This is the danger with only watching YouTube videos. You have got to get, you've got to get in some case law. You've got to get with some people who have done more than you. You've got to get with some study groups. You've got to get in the law library. We gonna talk about law library in a minute. Dang on alliteration. All right, so let me ask you a question since we are talking about legalese. Marcus Wright says that was out of line. That was out of line for a judge. Oh man, they do so much crap that's out of line. It's not even funny. I could spend countless hours watching these videos online of judges that are just oh my gosh, y'all. And they will ask you questions and it seems like they're trying to befriend you and they're seemingly innocent questions, but IYK, if you know, you know. if you know, you know. So let me ask y'all this. When we talk about legalese, a lot of people like to cite Black's Law Dictionary. Let me ask y'all and see if you guys know the answer. Which edition of Black's Law Dictionary is the best? What you think? Just give me any guess. Which edition of Black's Law Dictionary is the best? Just drop a number. Because everybody talk about Black's Law. Do y'all even know that there's more than just Black's Law Dictionary? There's another, I keep wanting to say Cavassier. It's not Cavassier. But there's another dictionary. I was just looking it up on Amazon. I can't open up too many. Oh, where's my Amazon history? Excuse me. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I keep wanting to say it's a Cavassier dictionary, but it's not. It's I can't find my browsing history to really. Oh gosh. Just because I want to pick up where you left off. Is it this section? Oh no. It's another type of legal dictionary that is very good, but very expensive. I will tell y'all this. You can definitely go in certain Okay, hold up. Kenny Edwards. Oh, okay. Kenny Edwards, son of the Dennis Edwards of the Temptations. Wow, interesting. Valentine's Dictionary. Now, I have never heard of that. I will have to look into that. And welcome to the stream. I think this is your first time. So welcome to the stream. Awesome legacy. Duval said 9th because that's the one I have. That's right. Yes, that's what I'm. Duval strikes again. Duval strikes. Yeah, how do you say it though, Duval? Is it Bouvier? The Bouvier is. I just recently heard of that within the last week. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've never heard of that. So yeah, that's the word that I was looking for. Excuse me. But going back to the answer, I told y'all we were covering a lot tonight. Today. So yeah, this Bouvier, this very fancy smash. Bouvier's Law Dictionary. This is another good text. I said it was very expensive, so they only have them in the Kindle editions. But yeah, so this is another good text, y'all. See this one right here. The desk is the Kindle desk is 182. Okay, so anyway, this is another text. It's not just Black's Law, but let's go back to what Duval said. He said the 9th edition is hold on. Oh, okay, I was right here. He said the 9th edition is the best because that's the one he has. In so many words, that's correct. Don't get too caught up in the editions, okay? Kiana said the 13th edition is the best. She said, but I'm just guessing. Kenny Edwards said 4th editions calls us monsters, everybody. I've heard that. So let me tell you all about the edition game, because everybody say, what edition you got? What edition you got? The best thing to do is to get as many editions as you can. Go to Goodwill, especially in certain areas, weak link, and get as many legal books to build your legal law library at home. And here's why you want multiple editions of books. You definitely want the recent ones, right? Because we've evolved, right? So in the past few years, with the evolution of social media and lives and AI and all this other stuff, we now have, okay, there are certain words that I cannot say on YouTube. So what I'm about to say with me right now, just work with me. But we have things like fexting. Fexting. It's a word that rhymes with fexting, but I can't say it because YouTube will, We have things like revenge corn, right? Revenge corn. It rhymes with revenge corn. I feel like I'm playing a game with you all. We have things like doxing. These are new words and phrases that we didn't have decades ago, right? But these are things that are affecting people's lives now that they are trying to take people to court for. And so these terms that are related to these types of cases won't be in the older text. Does that make sense? As we've evolved, dictionaries, words, there are some words that are in the dictionary right now that weren't even thought of before, but because of popularity and the culture, now they're real words, right? I think Google is actually in the dictionary now as a verb, right? Did you Google it? But you won't find that from a dictionary in the 80s, correct? So it's important to have newer text so that you stay current. But I already demonstrated to y'all how history is important too, with showing you the similarities between the church and the court. So it's important to have older text for the same exact reason. You want to look at how certain words have evolved. Sometimes they'll change what a word means, or they will, in the newer text, in the newer editions, they won't even put certain words in there because they don't want you to know their meaning for the word. So when you get the older text, okay, think about it. Back in the day, all they had was books. So if you wanted something, you had to know the Dewey Decimal System. You had to go to the library on a horse and buggy, or who remember encyclopedias? Who had a whole set of encyclopedias? Remember when there was no Google and you had to have a whole stack of encyclopedias in your house to get any information for your school reports? And if one of your sisters and brothers lost the P or the H, and you had a report involving that, you were just messed up. Okay, so back in the day, they will put certain things in books because that was the only source for information. Now they are purposefully taking things out of some text. So if you get an older version, you might get a more, I hope I'm doing a good job of explaining to you why there is no best edition. Just get as many editions as you can get and compare and contrast for various reasons. Does that make sense to you all? Does that make sense to you all? Did I do a good job of explaining that? And like I said, go to Goodwill. You can get these law texts sometimes $6 to $10, easy. Okay, but start building up your legal law library at home, and again, expose your kids to it. Okay, I hope that helped. I really, really hope that helped, because legalese is a language that you've got to start learning. And a lot of times they use these Latin phrases, and y'all, I mean, ab initio and sui juris and Juris Doctorate and I mean, the stuff that I have learned, my head sometimes is just like, okay, I need me some ratchet reality. I need me some ratchet reality to offset all this information overload that I'm taking. But it's necessary, y'all, because you got to know what they're saying, what it means, and how for you to even be remotely competitive. When they're talking about filing these notions, and I mean, how many of you have looked at legal documents and within mere seconds you put it down because you're like, I don't know what this is saying. I don't know what this is saying. And all the writ of attachment means arrest. What? Why didn't you just say arrest? Because they don't want you to know. Therefore, they'll say writ of attachment. It's like, what? Okay, yes, I did. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. Kenny said, I can't put Europe on Scrabble. My grandmother had me reading encyclopedia dictionaries, thesaurus, etymologies. Yes. And now I study anagrams. Ooh, come through, Kenny Edwards. And you know, we need grandmothers like that again. We need parents like that again. We need that again. And I strongly encourage y'all not to do it as a form of punishment. I heard somebody say, when my child acts up, I make them do a book report. Ooh, way to teach them how to hate reading. What? Don't make them do a book report as punishment. Tell them for every book they read, they're going to get $100 or something like that. It should be something that's incentivized, not something, oh my goodness gracious. But I'm going to keep this comment up because I absolutely love it. Thank you for saying that. And hats off to your grandmother, Kenny Edwards. We need more grannies like that. And y'all start showing up in the lives of the young ones and get them in. I used to love etymology. The study of the history of words, y'all, is so interesting. when you dissect the word and you're like, oh, that's why it means that, because each part of it means this. And there's a lot of that in legalese and law, and they get a kick out of it, y'all. They get a kick out of speaking their legalese language and watching you just tremble because you're ignorant. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off. And the schools are helping them do this. They're dumbing down our kids so these kids don't even, what you think? Ooh, it just boils me up. We're almost done. I'm just going to okay. Another thing I want y'all to do. Oh, we talked about legalese. So a good thing with legalese, y'all, I want y'all to start finding out too, where is the law library? How many of you have been to an actual law library before? Do you know where the law library is? I will tell you this. Oftentimes it's going to be in the courthouse, or it is going to be in a school in your local area, a college or a university in your local area that has a legal program. So I want to know how many of you have been to a law library before. Let me know in the comments down below. I've been to the law library. I have not. And I want to know also, has this stream inspired you to go? Because I literally said, like, what I want to start doing is when my son comes home from school, I mean, why does he have to do homework at home? We need to start going to the law library and sit in that place. You go to the law library, you're going to read American jurisprudence. You're going to read a whole bunch of great, very expensive texts that are really going to put you on some mad game about how these courts are operating, all for commerce. Okay? It's the law library is like Missy Elliott. Okay? I got what you want. I got what you need. Can I get another? Okay. 90s deja vu. All right. So yeah. But have y'all been to the law library? If not, I strongly encourage you to find out where one is in your local area if you're serious about this, and go. All right? Definitely go. Now, next thing I want you all to do is start, and this is all in keeping in the same realm of learning, okay? Exposing ourselves to something new, because they have an unfair advantage over us right now. So I need you to start going to your local county, municipality websites. Start looking up these titles. What is a clerk of the court? Do you know? What is a clerk of the court? What is a notary? Do you know? The other day I was in the UPS store just chopping it up with the notary, because I had to go in there to get some documents notarized for court. And just in talking to her and talking about the apostille, y'all, I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm going to, and I told you low sleep, so work with me. But apostille stamp and just talking to her about how certain things can do. You guys know that you can get your notary to actually, they're not going to testify to what your documents are, but the contents of your mailing, so that somebody can't say, yeah, we got our envelope, but it was empty. No, you can get your notary to receive documents. Okay, so that the documents come to the notary and the notary testifies, yeah, I sent this off on their behalf, and this is what the company sent back. So that when you go to court, because a large part of going to court and being successful is winning before you even step foot in the building. The courthouse is just a building, but court starts before you actually get to that physical building. Court starts in the mail. Court starts on the four corners of that paper, okay, of the paper, okay. Oh, we got some good comments from Kenny and some others. Kenny said, reading can destroy the eyes and glasses are needed. Yes. Kenny, let me tell y'all something. I ain't been on camera in a while. I have had my glasses on, not my contacts. Your girl is in her 40s now. Things changing. My man was asking me the other day, he said, your glasses are so low on your nose. I said, I know, because sometimes I need to see close and look over the top of them, and sometimes I need to see far and look through them. Your girl need bifocals. I'm old. Lord of mercy. But anyway, he said, if you sun gaze without glasses, your, I can't say that word. Is it pineal gland will grow. Look at what Kenny's saying, y'all. He said, I have been sun gazing without glasses 25 years makes the pineal gland decalcify. Okay, definitely didn't know that. I don't know about sun gazing now, but I got my I got my blue light glasses for the computer too. Kiana said, my mom took us a long time ago in our old courthouse here in Jacksonville. Shouts out to your mom though. Good for her. Good for her. Hopefully, Kiana, you go forward. You go now, currently. It's fascinating. Before I left the courthouse that day, I went to the I asked her, I said, what room is the law library on here? She said 5th floor. I went to that 5th floor before I exited that building. Oh, yes, I'm gonna make that law library my best friend. Right? It's my best friend. She's a real bad. Yes. Apostille. That's it. Thank you. Marcus said, you were driving. Yeah, you were behind. No problem. Is there any way you can put me on this live? Shoot, yeah. Let me see here. Let's invite, copy. I see the benefits of joining live. Okay, now you driving though. You driving though. I just dropped the link in the chat, Marcus. So yeah, feel free. Haha brings clairvoyance, weight loss. Oh, well, hold on now. You got me at weight loss. Let me go look at the sun. Déjame mirar el sol. And depth, weight loss. Hey, all that other stuff is cool too, but weight loss? Ay, que mirar el sol. Inmediatamente. All right, but yeah, so y'all find out where the law library is, find out what a clerk is, go ahead, and if y'all are going to be true to this for real, like if you really want to do this, and I encourage you to, because the people that are doing it and doing it right, doing it well, those people, they're getting money. I mean, I was on the phone at midnight with a young lady who she was like, I made $6,000 last week. Because she knows her rights, she's enforcing them. And once this is a skill set, y'all. So do you understand? It's like rinse and repeat. So whatever job you're doing that you're like, man, I can do this job with my eyes closed. What if all this stuff that I'm talking about referring to exercising your rights, calling these people on their ish? What if you could do this with your eyes closed? Because remember, everything is hard until it gets easy. But if you do it long enough, eventually it has to get easy. That's a law. That's a law. That's just how things work. That's just how the chips fall, y'all. Okay. John Davis says something funny. Court clerk of Pasadum King. I have never heard of that place before in life. Y'all really be putting me on. Okay. It's in Maine, y'all. Requested a vacation and was denied. So she quit and the court shut down and she was their only clerk. I'm not surprised, especially in some smaller areas. Yeah, I mean, court clerks are very important. And y'all, that's another thing we talked about briefly. I touched on, you should win your case before you even step into the courtroom. That's because you should set it up that way. And one of the things that I did wrong in a court case where I was suing somebody else, well, really bringing somebody else in for contempt of court, is another way that they bamboozle us, y'all, is these court TV shows. We watching Judge Joe Brown. We watching Judge Mathis. We watching Judge Judy. That's entertainment, y'all, but we think it's real, right? We watching Law and Order. So we think that you come to court with your paperwork and your manila folder and you turn everything in then. No! What you really want to do is get your evidence submitted to the case beforehand, because once that judge calls you up and it's your time to shine, they're not trying to have you shuffling through papers, and you got to understand the rules of procedure for your specific courts. Y'all know some of these judges old as Methuselah. Do you know with some of these judges, you have to even type some stuff in a certain font at a certain size? Your judge, 87 years old, they might be like, I don't accept nothing under 0.27. You like 0.27? But if that's what it is, that's what it is. So like your clerk can help you get documents put into your case as long as you're doing it according to the rules of procedure. See, I'm telling y'all, this is, what a tangled web they have weaved. What a tangled web they have weaved for us, family. They make it hard on purpose. But the clerk is the person who can help you get some stuff onto your case even to the judge's chambers ahead of time. But all too often, people walk into court thinking that they're going to put on a PowerPoint production. This ain't college. This ain't your English class. You got a few seconds, maybe a few minutes if you're lucky. But, it's so much. Like I said, we're going to talk about this some more. We're going to talk about this some more, y'all. Oh, yes. Kiana said, law intrigues me a lot. I haven't been there in a long time. You gave me the idea to go and take my family. Oh, yay. Let me know when you do, sis. Let me know. First time I heard of that, I'm balling. Well, I'm happy you're here. Courts out of business. Are you saying they're about a business? I'm sorry. I need to start. There's a delay. So sometimes y'all are saying stuff in reference to something I said 30 seconds to a minute before. And I might seem a little discombobulated when I read it. So my apologies. John Davis said, I know a car dealer who is set to appear on Judge Judy. I didn't know, but she's a real judge. He agreed because even if he lost, the show would pay for it. But the customer was a no-show. Interesting. Did they? Oh, so he didn't get on at all. But yes, well, a lot of times when people go on those court shows, they're paid regardless, y'all. And they actually say it really fast at the end, but half the time we're not paying attention then. But yeah, they're paid. But those shows are entertaining, and they do give you somewhat of an idea. I mean, it's like a cartoon, y'all. Think of it like a cartoon, because we all know in real court, it ain't nothing like that. I ain't never been to a courtroom and seen anybody even remotely close to reminding me of Judge Mathis. Okay. And I ain't never been to a court, and I've never seen people just handing up evidence to the judge. And even again, in a case where I was taking somebody for contempt of court, because they didn't fulfill an order from when I took them to court before. I had prepared all this evidence. I had labeled it was a complete S show. I was so pissed. I had stayed up late. Like, yeah, I got all my stuff in a row. Them people do not care. They do not care. Stuff that you like, clearly, this shows that. Judge don't even look at it. They be like, well, I'm not going to necessarily say that. And you're like, what? I get more respect in the drive-thru sometimes. Like I said, yeah, you're right. Oh, busyness. Okay. You said courts out of busyness. Got you. I'm up here sounding like Little Scrappy. I was about to say biznai. Let me be easy on Kenny Edwards. He's new to the broadcast. He don't know I don't have all my marbles. I sure was about to say biznai. Let me get some lunch and some red in my midday nap because I'm old. All right, we about to wrap it up. But yeah, so I need y'all to know who the clerk is. I need you to build rapport with a notary. Start interviewing some notaries in your area. Put it on your Facebook page. Hey, any notaries in? Fill in the blank with your city, and have people respond. Have people tag their mama, their sister, their brother, their cousin. Better yet, keep the business in the family. Make your son, make your daughter, make your sister-in-law a notary, and make them take this ish for real. There was a guy, and he said he wouldn't date a girl unless she was or was willing to become a notary. I was like, dang. And then I turned to my dude and I was like, hey, you want to be a notary? He was like, what? Yeah, I'm going to need you to become a notary. If you want to stay together. He was like, what? Where did that come from? I was like, I'll tell you later. But yeah, start learning these things, guys. Okay. What else? All right, I gotta wrap up for real now. Oh, let me tell y'all something else too. Remember how I said even when you're right, you could still be wrong. Even when you have everything together, you could still lose, kind of, sort of. Look at all the stuff that like Cardi B won against Tasha K, but she hasn't collected on that judgment. Y'all see how much trouble she's having to go through to collect on that judgment. So do not think that just because you're right and just because you win, that everything is all good. There are so many things. There are so many loopholes in the court system, and the court knows about it, but they don't care, because every time you have to refile a case and file for contempt, that's what money, money, right, for them. So they don't care. They don't care to fix all this stuff that's effed up, right? So know that, and you got to be proactive. Let me wait. Let me tell y'all this. So you guys know all this stuff going on with DJ Envy, Cesar Pena, Flip the Dial, all this other stuff with the real estate. All these lawsuits coming out saying that they were doing a real estate pyramid scheme, right? I was listening to another YouTuber who broke down very, very well what really happened. It's crazy. If you don't know about it, go look it up. And so they were showing how more lawsuits are coming out. And as they were showing the lawsuits, the what's it called? Whatever, how the thing, so-and-so versus so-and-so. It was like this company who was the plaintiff versus it would say versus Cesar Pena, aka Flippin' NJ, Rashawn Casey, aka DJ Envy, Flip the Dial, and it would be like this huge long paragraph of all of these defendants. Now, that was so good. You know why? Because I recently heard a guy say, hey, I need help. I won this case against this company that did me wrong, but in the middle of my trial, the LLC was dissolved. The LLC was dissolved. So now he's like, can I go after the owner personally? And basically, you would have to do that early on. You would have had to have listed the owner, like the company and the owner, if this is making sense. I'm gonna have to go through this stuff kind of quick now, because we really have been on here 2 hours, and I, clap it up for y'all, because this was a lot to take in. Hopefully y'all have found it helpful. I'm gonna guess by the comments that you all have. I appreciate the participation, but understand this. Again, there's a lot to this stuff, but it's a skill set. And once you know it, once you got it good. So if you're suing somebody, take that into consideration too. They could dissolve the LLC, even though they're not supposed to, because the guy was like, when you go to dissolve an LLC at the Secretary of State, they will ask, are you actively involved in any lawsuits? Now, you're supposed to answer truthfully, but if you are scammers be what? Scamming. So they can be like, no, I'm not involved in any, and now your LLC is dissolved. And now you have a judgment in your favor against a company that does not even exist anymore. So now if you want to go after the owner personally, you got to file another what? Lawsuit. That is what? Money for the courts. Right? So that's why it's so good that those entities that were suing against DJ Envy's, Cesar Pena, they listed it all their aliases, all their LLC names, all of that. And that's why you'll often see things like Midland and Portfolio Recovery. They'll have like 15 variations of their name because they're trying to evade the law. Okay, they'll be like, oh, you sued Portfolio Recovery LLC, but really we are Portfolio Recovery Solutions LLC. And you're like, what? What the what? Man, come on, man. John Davis said, my first job after getting fired from Ford. I love this. I love this. My first job after getting fired from Ford was a payday lender. Wow. His wife was a notary. See, keep it in the family. Notary would sign off on repo, and he'd take the people's cars 1 minute past midnight. John, you have contributed so much value to this. See, John know what I'm saying. Nah, I mean, John know I mean. Kiana said, I got my notary certificate in March. Sis, let's talk, sis. Let's talk, sis. Okay, we got to get you like, okay, yeah. I need to take the leap to get my business going. And you should get a specialty like, sis, if you specifically targeted these people right here, people who do this, especially in states where you can represent somebody without being an attorney, right? You could specifically offer services like everything that I just described. And being that they won't have to explain these things to you because you're already in the know, you can make a killing. Because the guy said every girlfriend he had that he made a notary, he said they would pull like $1,000 a week, and they would be so happy that he put them on game when he really told them why he wanted them to become a notary. And then he put them onto his little clique, because that's all they would do is these types of documents for court. And y'all, they always violating us. There are always court cases being filed. So again, this is a skill set. Once you got it, you got it. So you will see that there will be more opportunities to take people to court and to hold them accountable, especially when you know how to do it. And you're no longer afraid of that building that was set up on purpose to intimidate you. Is this all click, 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 clicking? Huh? Not one day late, just 1 minute late. On the repos, John? Yeah, I'll bet. Look, his wife was the notary. Come on, man. Number one. Oh my God, I saw a YouTube video and thought it was clickbait. Yeah, man, it's so much stuff. We are creditors supporting debtors. Man, sometimes we're creditors, but they want us to stay debtors. Sometimes we serve so many different rules depending on what is going on. But at the end of the day, they want us to be modern day slaves. Understand that, okay? So let me just look over my notes and make sure that let me ask y'all this. This is going to be my last quiz question. Are statutes laws, y'all? What do you think? What do you think? Are the statutes laws? Yes or no? Are statutes laws, y'all? That's hard to say. Are statutes laws, y'all? Yes or no? If Duval is still here, I know he's going to get it right. I know John Davis is going to get it right. I think Kenny Evans is going to get it right. I'm sure Marcus and my girl Kiana come through. They'll probably get it right. No pressure. But are statutes laws, y'all? Yes or no? Oh, my phone, I think. Oh, wait a minute. I think my phone. What do y'all think? Basically, the answer is no. Statutes are not laws. Look at Tay. I didn't know you were still here. No, they're not laws, y'all. Okay. Remember, what's it called? I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. Remember that show? Go back and thank you, Schoolhouse Rock. We need to go back, y'all, and along with our children or children, we need to go back and watch those Schoolhouse Rock episodes. I actually pulled it up for my son, and I was like, dang, I thought I was doing this for him, and this is really for me too, because that Bill on Capitol Hill song it's lit, it's litty, it's tight. I was in the shower like, I'm just a bill on Capitol, and I was like, dang, Kim, you old. But go back and watch those Schoolhouse Rock things. Statutes are not laws. Does that mean they're not enforceable? No, that doesn't mean that. That just means you really need to understand it is not law. Now, can you get out of them holding you to certain statutes? Again, depending on what that mouthpiece do. Maybe you can. So that's all I have for right now. Tay said, I was just getting tired of this job. Law. I done took your whole shift. But what I want y'all to know is this, y'all. Okay. You have to know who you are. And the problem is too many of you do know who you are. And the truth is you are someone who has not studied enough to show thyself approved yet. So I want us to change that. Our ignorance and incompetence just comes from our inconsistency. Oh, I just came up with that, and that's good. But it's really the truth. So I don't care what your schedule is? But find some time to study this stuff. Like if you're on my stream again, I ain't talking about nothing sexy. So if you're here, it's because you want to be here and you do genuinely have an interest in this. Now I want you to develop an expertise in it. So develop a schedule, however many minutes daily, weekly, monthly, that you can commit to, that you can listen to a YouTube video, take some notes. And the more you do this, the more intelligent conversations. Like I know from this stream, certain people I could point out that if I have an opportunity for certain groups that I'm in where they are invite only, if I have an opportunity to invite other people, I know certain people on this stream just because of how they talk that I would invite. And I know certain people that I wouldn't because they ain't ready yet. You want to study to show thyself approved so that when people hear your name, when they hear Kiana Lachey, they know, oh, she about it, right? And they're not afraid to invite you into certain rooms that can take you to the next level. But that's going to require you studying independently. I studied for a long time by myself before anybody invited me to be a part of their circle. And the circle that I'm in right now is great. And it's free. But it's only like 20 of us. And most of us met in other paid mentorships where we got ripped off or the information wasn't 100% true or the information has changed. But we've been studying together throughout the years. And now we've just formed this like little power mastermind and the results are crazy. Are they results that I will share on YouTube? Probably not. And IYKYK, if you know, you know. There are certain things that are not meant for the public at large, that are only meant for those private places, private spaces, okay? For various reasons. But yeah, I want y'all to be studying. I want you to commit to something. Ladies, think about what if every time you got your hair done and your nails did, you were listening to this stuff. You were learning something related to the law. You were reading case law. You were something. The compound effect of that over time, just you listening to this stuff while doing those activities that you're doing anyway, the compound effect of that over time would be priceless, right? Fella, same thing. What if in your car or you at your children's games or practices? I know when my son was at karate, I would be watching, I would be cheering him on. But in my ear, there was something educating me while I was like, yeah. Okay, does this make sense? Kiana said, yes, let's talk. Yes. And you guys look into how much it costs for you to become a notary. In some states, it's as little as $30. $30. In other states like California, I think it could be as much as $500. California don't want nobody over there. They trying to run everybody out. Everything's so dang on sky high. Sky high. These Sesticade Trust, Sesticade View. Oh man, don't do this to me. No food, no sleep. The trust and the Strawman accounts. Everybody has an account we might not know of. Okay, that is absolutely true. Well, let me just say this for speed purposes because I do need to end this live. I've touched on the Strawman thing before. I don't like using that word or certain phrases too much because I don't want to just throw stuff out there that sounds sexy if somebody doesn't know what to do with it. So, and this is how a lot of people are getting hemmed up and actually being thrown into jail. You can actually go to court and start talking this ish, and they'll be like, we want you to take a mental evaluation and like send you down to a psych ward and try to get you deemed as crazy. In another group, I was listening to this guy. He knows his stuff, and he was able to record it when he was in court. And the judge literally said to him, I'm gonna recommend you for a mental evaluation. And he so eloquently and intelligently articulated that there is nothing wrong at all with his faculties, to the point where he didn't have to do it. But again, if you go into court and you start talking about a straw man or the secret trust and all this, you're probably going to jail. They're probably going to find you in contempt. It's not going to work out well for you. You have to say it without saying it in a way that lets them know, I I'm not gonna, you know, like I said, you're not gonna pull the curtain on them like the Wizard of Oz. I'm not gonna expose you. I can. I'm not gonna expose you in front of this courtroom full of people. I'm not gonna put them on game that y'all really defrauding us, but I'm not the one to fudge with. And when you use certain trigger words like straw man and talking about this secret trust, it does exactly the opposite of what you desire to do in court. So it's a game of chess, not of checkers, for sure. And it is mental gymnastics, like mental and verbal gymnastics, like you wouldn't believe. Secure private trust. Yep. Check your own CUSIP numbers. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but we got to be able to tell people how to do it. Right now on this stream, what I wanted to do, and finding a CUSIP number can be hard. And do people know what a CUSIP number is for? And do they know what to do with it once they find it? All that stuff gets really, really deep down the rabbit hole. Again, not something I think I'll cover publicly for a myriad of reasons. Because y'all don't know how much stuff can come your way when you put this type of information out there, even just a little bit. So that's why the people who really, really know it, you won't find them talking it too much on YouTube. Number one, they don't have the time. Number two, they don't really care to. And I'm not going to get into it. It's a lot. But yeah, so listen, I checked my notes. We covered everything. It has been almost 2.5 hours. I thank you all for staying with me. As always, please like, share, subscribe, share this information with anybody else you think would appreciate it. Okay. And really, let's try our best, y'all, to be the examples in our family so that we can educate others. I do not want your children being scared, not knowing how to communicate with law enforcement, with judges and courts, messing up their lives for one decision, you having to drain your dang on retirement to bail, you know, little Tavares out of jail when he never should have been there in the first damn place. Right? Look up Travis Randolph and that man. Kiana said it's free to read the material and get your certification in Florida. Shut up. And then another $70 to get your materials and insurance. Wow, that is so interesting. I'm looking too. My sister actually was a notary here in Georgia, and I can still go to the county website and look up. I think her thing expired in 2016, but she wasn't doing it like that. So she has a business that is super successful. So that was just a side thing for her. So she didn't care. But and I'm not going to ask her to become one now again, because I need somebody who will be all in. But yeah. Let's start doing things like that. Keep, what if you had a little cousin who's 18 and you made them a notary, or 21 or whatever the case may be, and they started out, and that was you exposing them to this information and getting them in circles like this, and they're making $1,000 a week instead of having to go to work for somebody. That's how we need to start thinking. We need to start having certain roles and certain responsibilities that we need to keep in the family, and start grooming people up to fill those roles and responsibilities for us in a way that we all can benefit. Because remember, a family is only as strong as its weakest link. So we got to start coming together, family, literally and figuratively, and start working together to truly break generational curses. Because I hate to tell y'all, but a successful lace front and eyelash business on Instagram is not breaking generational curses. Okay. Be mad at me if you wanna. But your son ain't taking over your IG lace front and eyelash business. I don't care how many pink bubble mailers you got on your living room floor. Okay. They don't want us to be, Kiana said, they don't want us to be plain and straightforward with knowing what we know. They will lock you up, girl. Clink, clink. Yes, they will. And let me tell y'all something. Those are the videos that they love to put on YouTube to let you know, don't you even think about opening your mouth. We will put you in this jail so quick your head will spin. But they don't share the ones that are successful in court, because it's all a part of their agenda. They don't want you to know that you can do this thing the right way, okay, and get what's due to you. They don't want you to know that. So you won't find those videos. You'll only find videos and they'll be like, sovereign citizen fails again. And what's so crazy is in some of those videos, they'll mark it as a fail. But if you really listen, it's a win. I can't even get into that. Y'all about to rope me into a whole nother discussion. We'll save that for another time. Tay said, when I come down to Georgia, is it possible to meet up and discuss this further? Girl, I don't know now. I'm scary in or you don't do any in-person consultation. Girl, let me tell you something. I'm so spooky in person. Like, I don't like people running up on me. And it's weird when you share stuff on YouTube because there's an imbalance. So when you meet somebody, I don't know if you saw one time, Tay, but I was in Publix and the guy that was restocking the chips, he was like, hey. And I had on black sweatpants and a black hoodie. And I was like, hey, I'm like, what? I'm like, does he think I'm my sister? Does he think? He's like, hey. And he was walking toward me like, hey. And I was just like, and then he was like, you that YouTube girl. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. In little tiny Pooler, Georgia, and little tiny in Publix and Pooler on the chip aisle. One of my YouTube girl, that thing spooked me out. He turned out to be real cool. We took a picture together. We talked. But at first I was like, girl, I'll be real square. And at my son's karate one time, this lady too, she was like, I just saw one of your videos. I was like, oh. I didn't even hear what she said. She was just walking to me and she was smiling, but it's just a weird feeling. And I'm by no means a celebrity. I could never be. Because if little old me, who does the most unsexy topic videos ever, consumer protection law, nerdy stuff, has run into like 2 or 3 people and it spooked me out. Oh, I could never. But I don't know, Tay. We could. I don't know. Virtually, I would prefer virtually until I get to know you, girl. But yeah, pop up in Pooler if you want to. You won't be meeting with me. We got to develop some rapport. Develop some rapport. She said, you speaking facts. You laughing. Okay, you get it. She said, I understand. It's a lot of weirdos. Yes. Like, I can't even begin to tell you some of the things that I have gotten, especially when I had the text blast and I would send out a blast to multiple people. They could respond back to me and it only came to me. Oh, some of y'all who on the text blast, y'all know, because then I would inevitably send out a blast to everybody and be like, now look at here. And y'all would be like, who ruffled your feathers? It's just, it's a lot. But yes, if you go to hellocamille.com, I believe as soon as you pull it up, there is a way for you to schedule a consultation with me. And we can go deep into, I have an intake form because I never want to accept anybody's money for something that I don't feel 100% confident consulting with them about. So I actually have an intake form. Let me show y'all right quick, where you can fill out, and then based on your answers, I'll say whether or not, we can proceed forward with scheduling it and payment, or if I don't think I'm a good fit for you. And I might even, in some instances, I have recommended an expert in the area that you want. Oh, you should do a consultation with this person instead, because they really know so much more. You'll get more bang for your buck with them. So if you're looking at the screen right now, yes, you just go to hellocamille.com, and right here, the private consult request form, you fill that out. It's a Google form, and it's not bad at all, but I just really am into not taking people's money if it's not going to be a win-win for both of us. Because I have always found that the consultations where I pre-screened to make sure we were a good fit, those were the ones that the time just flew by. I was able to give them so much value, and they were more than happy with their purchase. And that's just how I like to do business, if that makes sense to you, okay? all right, I think that is it. I think that is it. I said, yeah, now we're at the 2.5 hour mark, y'all. I am so sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm going to go back and try to find where I had those moments of silence and timestamp them so that the replay viewers can skip, to those parts. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Timestamp this whole video. Oh my gosh. I don't want to do that. But anyway, listen, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all so much for the participation. This can be a lonely thing to do. Sit up here and talk to yourself for 2.5 hours. So when you guys give feedback, answer whether it's right or wrong, it means so much to me. And again, to my 190 plus new subscribers in the last 28 days, even though I have not shot not a one video, man, I'm honored and I'm speechless. Okay. I hope you guys found value in this video. Feel free in the future to leave me super stickers, super chats. YouTube ain't paying like y'all think. So I also appreciate the participation, but also financial gifts as well. Not begging, just saying. And I think that's it. That's enough. Whew, let me breathe. All right. I will talk to you all later. Bye.